Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So I'm coming back again with the members free gift. Currently at Hunkydory, you just pay for the postage, or you can have a slightly larger kit for £12.99, which has got additional bits in, but you still pay the postage on. So today I've got Feeling Wild, which is the beautiful sort of Dr. Martens boots, and a bunch of beautiful flowers, and you've got the sort of "You are fabulous, feeling wild, thank you so much, and hoping this card will brighten your day and makes you feel better in every way." And then you've got the printed cardstock and the foiled cardstock, so you've got the black foil line on there and the hearts as well, I believe. Yes, the hearts and stars. And because I've got the papers in the insert kit, I've got the big bundle. I'm going to be using some of the papers from the paper and inserts kit. So I'm going to be starting out with a piece of card. It's not going to surprise you too much if you watch a lot of my videos, but it's 6 by 12. I'm just checking. So that's not very straight, so I'm going to pop that one to the side. Luckily I've got another one here. Let's hope this one is more. 6 by 12, and I'm going to come in first of all, and I'm just going to put my score line at 6 inches there. And then if I bring my trimmer in, we'll put that around the right way. And this side seems to be a little brighter, and I'm going to put my crease line at 3 inches. Sorry if you can hear Henry there. And then I'm going to cut this other piece here to 1.5, and this should be 1.5 as well. It is, but we'll pop that to the side for another day. So I'm doing a sort of cutaway floating panel sort of card. So just give that a bit of a score down, and then our card will be pieced together like so. Because I'm doing the smaller gap, I'm not going to be using acetate, so the card is going to be quite strong. So let's start with some layers, and I'm going to be using the black glitter card today. And this is the Diamond Sparkles one. So we did this top piece at 3 inches. So I'm going to do a panel that's 2 notches under the 3 and 2 notches under the 6, and that should fit onto the top of there quite nicely with a narrow border. Okay, and then the next one, we did that at 1.5, so I'm going to do that at 2 notches under the 1.5. And again, I'm going to cut that down to 2 notches under the 6. Like so. Yep. And then I need a piece for the inside, which is going to be 2 notches under the 6 square. And obviously all of these pieces, do keep them because you can use them to cut butterflies out of, borders. You know, don't waste that cardstock because it is good stuff. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is come in with this cardstock here, which is the printed one, and I'm going to put the flowers at the top. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4, and I'm going to cut that at 2 3/4 for that top piece. It's going to fit in there quite nicely. And then what I'm going to do is cut another piece at the bottom, so it needs to be 1 3/4. So a 1 1/4, sorry, because it was 1.5. So So it's just pretty much going to go along that white line. So we're just going to have that blue at the top and the bottom. So pop those bits to the side. And again, I need to cut that to 5 3/4. And then that should fit quite nicely onto there. Get that border all the way around. Okay, now for the back, I'm going to use the, it's a slightly darker blue, sort of leopard print. And this needs to be 5 3/4 square. Now if you wanted to, because you're not going to see a lot of it, you could put the insert on the inside if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that today. Just going to have that pop of blue coming through. Okay, so that's all of our layers done. So let's get this assembled. So we'll start with the back. What I am going to do is just give that a really good burnish down so that it stays a bit flatter. So the glues I'm using, as usual, in this one I've got the Kalau all-purpose glue. And this is the same as the Hunkydory construction glue in that it's kind of alcohol based. And I'm also going to be using the Kalau tacky glue, which is the same as the PVA glue. And I just use that on the corners. I'm just going to pop that on. And by using those glues, what I get is I still get a little bit of movability from that all-purpose. But the tacky glue makes sure that it's not for a long period of time. So that means that if I move on to something else like this, my bottom layer is not going to keep on moving. Okay, so for papers, I don't use the tacky glue because it's got water content in it, and I find sometimes the paper can ruck up. So it looks like it's got bubbles in it, basically. So I put the Kalau all-purpose glue in the middle, so it can't splurge out any edges and affect my layers. And then some dotty tape pen, that one happens to be a Crafter's Companion one, on the edges to do that same thing for me, to stick that down straight away and give that all-purpose glue time to set and not be moving me around in the wrong direction. Okay, so finish that down again. It will move a little bit because it's got that layer underneath it now. So again, all-purpose glue, and sometimes you do find you get strings with it. Just be careful that they're not touching anything like your foils, because sometimes even that little bit of all-purpose glue can take the shine off your mirror. Okay, so again with this one, because it is cardstock, I can go back in with my normal glues. So it's purely just for paper that I'm using the tape pen at the moment. Okay, so that's where we are at the moment. And we need to pop this one onto here. If you were going to put acetate on this, which you might want to, a bit of extra stability, bit of the wow factor, that shine coming through, then I would stick the acetate on before you start putting this layer on, and that way you're sandwiching it between the white card and your layers, and it's going to hide all your workings for you. Oops. Glue was wanting to go for a wander. There we go. So that is how my card is looking at the moment. Okay, so I think I'll put that one. No, I'm going to keep it as it is. I thought for a minute that I was going to have blue to blue, but no, I did have it the right way. Panic moment. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. So I'm going to come in with this big flower topper. We've got 3 frames. We've got a black frame, a floral frame, and then the actual topper itself. So that's there. just going to bring in my scissors, just run it down those pips so I can just see where it was connected to the cardstock. It's just a little bit bobbly. So I'm just going to tidy those up. Hopefully it's not going to be as bad on the inside. There's two sort of ways that you can do it. You can either just go around it with your scissors, or you can, sometimes you can squash them down with your nail, or if you've got like a little page sander, nail file, that sort of thing, you can also just get rid of them by that. And I think it's sort of more noticeable when this is in the black because it's a big black dot. One's there, one's fine, I think. That one's fine. Okay. Right. So I need to make sure this is lined up as if it would be if it were still on the card, because this is what's going to provide that stability of it. And then we're having this one over. And I think what I'm going to do is sort of have my topper on low, so that's going to be flat to the actual card itself, and then I'm going to raise each layer by a sort of millimetre each time. Okay, so let's just pop that back in there so that I know where my topper needs to go when I pop it back in. Make sure that's kind of straight. And then what I'm going to do, rather than try and glue the card itself or the topper itself, I'm just going to pop some PVA or tacky glue on the inside. And then what I can do is just come along, slot that back in, make sure my frames are looking nice and straight, and then I should be able to take those two off. Okay, so I'm just going to see what that looks like without it. Don't know if I want them all or not. Because it's a smaller space there, it's a lot easier to get away with less frames because it isn't going to need as much support. So that looks quite dark. I think it's going to look a lot brighter without it, so I might, if I can get rid of that, come on. Yeah, I am. I'm going to need to do it without. So let's grab some foam pads, and these are about 2 millimeters, I believe, and I should be alright with the thicker one. And I have to be careful here, I've just realised. Let me just go back carefully. I don't want it everywhere. Just see if I can get rid of that. I'm hoping, you know, if I pop this back on here, I should be able to see around about where I need this to go. Just pop that there. Slightly a piece to aim for, and then here I can just come across, and here I can come across. And I know I just need to go a little bit back on that. In fact, I can pop this around here. I always sort of forget about that bit showing through. And I'm trying to be careful not to sort of pull it too much, because as you can see at the moment it is sort of bowing just a little bit, but it will still go down flat. Okay, so I'm just going to take my scissors in. I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. There we go, so just rubbing it away. I have got an adhesive rubber somewhere. I think it, oh no, here it is. So this was available from Creative Expressions once upon a time. And it does take sort of, I am supporting this quite well with my hands because otherwise it would rip. And what it does is it just takes that away a little bit. And a little bit cleaner than I can do with my knife. Okay, so, and is there a right way or a wrong way? No, there isn't. Okay. Just going to nip that corner off there. Just it's not really showing, but if I squash it down, it possibly could. And now I just have to try and get these off. So for those people that have asked about my finger, had a few comments, messages. It's not terrible now, but the only thing is it's sort of all sort of healed up, but it's healed with a little bit of a sticky up bit which keeps getting caught on things. So I have been putting a plaster on it during the day because I was just afraid of it catching on something and then just ripping it all open again. And plus at the moment with sort of decorating and things, I am doing things that are quite grubby, so just trying to keep it clean as well. I don't want to cause any problems anywhere else along the line. Okay, so let's put this on, and I need the bigger bit of adhesive at the top because that's where I've got the most topper or bit of cardstock. So just trying to make sure I'm making this look harder than it is. Let me pop that off a second. Let's do it the easy way. Let's pop our black layer in nicely, and then this should fit nicely over the top, showing me where I need to be. And then I can pop my knife underneath, she says. So I can poke it through there and just whip that out. Still looks a little bit odd there, but it's better than it was. Okay, so I've got a black frame there for another project, probably the little book. And then if I come to the sentiments, I don't think I want to go with the hoping this card will brighten your day and make you feel better in every way. You can see it's really sort of substantial. Let's see. Let's go with the thank you so much. I'm not going to use ribbon on it. I'm going to use a gem. So again, I've just got a couple of those little pips sticking up. Let's see where we can pop this. Okay, so I'm going to do that there, I think. So I'm just going to pop a little piece across there, so it's at the same height as this frame. just pop a bit of glue all the way across, because it's not really going to matter. I can just wipe that at the back. Okay, now I did find some gems yesterday. These are from, I think they're just from like what we have in the UK, a pound shop. I suppose in America you'd have like a dollar store, wouldn't you? But we have a pound shop, so I don't know how sticky they're going to be, but there's black, gold and silver. So first of all I need to put a sort of biggish one on there, and I am going to use these different things. I am going to use some glue because I'm not sure how strong the glue is going to be. Oops. Come on now, find your place. There we go. And then I'm going to go with 1, 2, 3. And we'll go with a big one. This is definitely better for picking up these gems anyway. Although the glue is making them want to stick. And then a tiny one. Come on, there we go. Right, now we just need to get them in a row. And that glue there will dry clear. But you can use your teeny tiny daubers. Or anything like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need just one more, and I think what I'm going to do is just pop a bigger one, and that's just because I like odd numbers. I'm just a bit weird about it. It has to have an odd number. There we go. So that is that. Oops, let's stand it up properly. So that's the card finished. Now if you want to put an insert on, I would probably just put an insert panel there hidden behind. Just I'm guessing that is probably about 3 inches by 4. So I would do a little 3x4 panel, pop it in there, a bit of insert, maybe on the black again, but a flatter black that's easy to write on, and then that would be that card finished. But that is card number 1. So I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so I'm coming back again, another piece of 300 GSM white card in 6x12, and I'm going to make just a 10th fold with this one. So I'm going to pop in a crease at the 6 inch there, just give that a little fold over. And there's our basic card shape. So it's going to stand like so. So I'm going to bring in a piece of the blue Adorable Scoreable. So this was in the big pack that I've got. So you do get some Adorable Scoreable to match. And I'm going to cut this down as my top layer, so 2 notches. Below the 6 on each side, and that's just going to give me a really narrow border all the way around, a narrow border of white. And then I'm going to come in with this piece here that we cut some off. I'm just going to take that bit of yellow off. Okay, so now we've got that one there, and then I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4 and 5 3/4. So let's just check. Yes, we've just got that little bit of blue, light blue going around. And then I want to put some blue behind the actual square topper. I have popped it out because it was a little bit stuck in. So let's see. So this is approximately 4.5. So let's go 4.5 by 4.5 first of all, and I can take it a bit smaller if I need to. And it's fine on the width. Just take a tiny little millimetre off there, and then just go to 4.25. So it's not quite square, this topper, it's a little bit longer on one side, as you can see. So I've still got some blue here, so maybe so that one was the 4.25, so maybe down to 4, so 4.5 by 4. And that's looking better. So let's pop that down. Now if I grab that corner punch, hopefully it will take in some of it. We might still need to take some more off. We're aiming for it to be hidden behind, so that way. And by taking those corners off, you can see now it's all hidden behind. What we could do, we're just taking a little bit of that size, so just take a little more off there. Just do those corners again, and they should be perfect. There we go, so perfect behind there. Okay, let's pop that back. Okay, let's pop these together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this bit first, just purely because then it's got a little bit of time. Oh, it's just because I've been standing around a little bit thinking about where I wanted to go next. So I'm just going to pop some dots all the way around. Oops. I need to align there. And then I'm going to pop this one on. This is just the tacky glue. That's just going to give that a bit of time to set. So just got a little pip there, so you can see when there's a pip, you can just sometimes see it poking through. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and put these layers down. So I did have another idea for a card, but it just didn't work out, so I've still got these bits here. I hadn't put the topper down, so I did come in and just do this instead. Actually, let me just see. This is the topper that I cut for that other card. No, I'm going to stick with the black. So, like I say, it didn't go right. So, I need to revise that card shape. It was two different card shapes. But this one is going to work out fine anyway, so. If it's like a minor mistake, I leave it in the video and just say, oh, you know, avoid this. But when it completely goes wrong, and you know, I don't want you to sort of waste your kits doing making the same mistake I have. So sometimes it's better just to start again if you haven't gone too far, and that's what I've done today. So again, just 2mm foam all the way around on here, and then I will put some in the middle as well. This is just going to shrimp and that bit I've cut. And these are the thick strips, which I didn't even know I had until I found them the other day. So it's amazing, since I started moving things around to sort of get ready to come down, all the things I found that I didn't know I had. And obviously bits of Mum's as well, they're still finding. So it's all good. So, and we've got the topper piece there. So let's see how we want this to go. So I've got a piece there, and I've got, I like the Feeling Wild button sort of sentiment. Yeah, I think that's going to be how we're going. So I could go in the centre, but I kind of feel if I pop it over to one side, I've got plenty of room to put that against that black and the flowers, and then I can find some lovely blue gems to go down there. So I think that's the way we will go. These backs off. And again. Again, a little bit of tacky glue just to give me bit of time to get this in the right place. As you can see, sometimes it's good to have that, so that needs to be that way up because the circly bit is at the top. So let's go around about there, and I'm just going to go with a little 1mm pad for this, so it's just a little bit raised off that blue to give it a bit of shadow behind, but not, you know, completely raised. That it should still fit in a normal envelope, I think, just about. So just using all of these little bits up on here, and then I can pop those in the bin. And pop 1, 2, 3. That's good. This is quite a quick card, this one. So just working my way around, getting these pads off. Nearly there. So just adding this glue on, pop my little boots in, and then I'm going to go with that same height of foam pad, which was the 2mm one. I've got a random spot of glue there for some reason. And if you've got any little glitter butterflies, they would go cute with here because we've got the butterfly detail on, sorry, stuck something on the topper as well as the actual backing stock, the card stock. Okay. Then I wonder if these deep blue ones will. Let me just find some gems. Okay, so I've decided that I haven't got any blue, quite the right blue that I want, so I'm going to go with these clear ones. And what I'm going to do is just pop a couple round in a random way. Grab those tweezers that were good earlier. So we've got 3 different sizes here again. These are these pound shop ones. Oops. I'm gripping it a bit hard now. I think these were for my hot plate, for my foil press. One of them. I've got 2. I've got the Gemini, and I've also got a different one as well, an older one, which I've never really used. I think if I win the lottery, I'm going to buy Platinum 6 and a Platinum 6 and a Spellbinder 1 glimmer plate, just because the support's there. It's not the Gemini, there's no support there really. They say they do the consumables, but that's about it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 7 gems on there, and I'm happy with that. It's not the card I wanted to do, but that went horribly wrong, so we'll move on from that. But we've still got 2 nice cards. We've not wasted anything. It was just a bit of glitter card that I wasted, that's all. But those are the 2 cards for today. 2 different cards, quite nice funky ones. So you've got the thank you one, which is the flowers, and then you've got the feeling wild. I could go ahead and add the you are fabulous as well, but I think I might save it for the one with the little glasses, and put it on that one as well. So that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching. Back next time again with this kit. So it'll be so they've done the purple and the blue, so it'll either be the pink or I think there's a green as well. So we'll see which kit I come back with. But until then, take care of yourselves. Happy crafting. Bye bye.